There we go. How you going, mate? Jai, that Aussie metal guy here with Crannk, and today I'm having a chat with Sam Pryor, frontman for 3000 AD, guitarist and vocalist. Cheers, mate, for making some time to have a chat with me. Horns across fucking the ditch.
Cheers, dude. Yeah, thanks a lot for having me on.
No worries. Thank you very much. First off, man, can you just tell us a little bit about who you guys are? Because I've only heard a couple of songs from you guys at the moment. You're still relatively new. You're about to drop your debut EP. Just a little bit about yourselves.
Well, I guess we sort of formed from the remains of like a punk band and a more traditional metal band, kind of way back actually. But we sort of just kind of fused those two influences just to create something a little bit different. Because I don't know, I always thought like, well, these days there's quite a lot of people doing that whole the retro thrash thing. So we kind of like I even before thrash actually was coming back, I was wanting to do something to bring it back, because I can remember back in the day with the in the kind of new metal type era, and there wasn't much going on thrash wise.
Yeah.
And so I was already kind of like heading that way. And so, yeah, we just sort of thought, oh, why don't we start doing this sort of thing again and add in that punk element as well. So, yeah, that was the sort of genesis of it. And there's just been a lot of real slow build up and just kind of developing it into something that actually is quite unique, I think.
Yep. Yeah, thrash has made quite a resurgence lately. It's unreal seeing all this great thrash. I know over here in Australia, it's just so many great thrash bands, and
there is, yeah, absolutely.
In general, so you're saying you're in like a punk band before. So, is this something you've been thinking about doing for a while, jumping in and doing a bit of thrash and on the side, or?
Well, I was always like the metal guy.
Yeah, cool.
So I got into Metallica and Slayer at quite a young age, and that was it for me. I was like, I just need this kind of stuff. But the other guys definitely came more from the punk side of things. So they brought this sort of Misfits, Bad Religion type influence, and just that sort of rawness and energy that I think you get quite nicely from punk, and the lack of like pretentiousness and that kind of vibe.
Yeah, it sits so well though, punk and metal together. It's just unreal. We
absolutely
picked up a punk guy about a year ago, and it's just unreal. And I actually really loved punk as a young lad too, the Exploited and Sick of It All, and the hardcore influences was kind of like borderline. Running on, still gotcha. There we go. We're still there. We're back. So can I talk a little bit about the tracks you brought out at the moment? The first one being the self-titled track 3000 AD, which is a stomper, man. Can you tell me a little bit about, that self-titled, obviously after yourselves, but can you tell me a little bit about what that track means for you as the vocalist?
Well, I mean, thanks for saying that, by the way. But I'm not like the core vocalist of the band. We all do vocals, so it's
cool.
It's kind of almost like a Mastodon type setup.
Where you've
got different songs, different vocalists, but primarily it's actually our drummer that's singing.
Awesome.
So again, I
love that.
But yeah, so the 3000 AD, it's kind of interesting. The song actually, the song title preceded the band title. So back when we were called a bunch of different things, but we decided we come up with the song title 3000 AD, and then we decided actually that's a good descriptor for the band and just the way the music was heading in that.
Yep.
Because basically like the lyrical themes on that song and actually on the whole of the Void album is sort of this kind of dystopian kind of Blade Runner-esque type feel to it. So it's still kind of apocalyptic, Blade Runner type vibe, and that song pretty much sets the scene for the whole album. It's almost like a concept album. It's like our main vocalist came up for the lyrics, and then just reading through it, it just became clear that there was actually a kind of through line here. Like, there was even like a logical kind of chronological order for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the song 3000 AD is basically like setting the scene of life on Earth, in the distant future, where it's barely inhabitable at this point. And then the songs that come after just kind of expand on it until towards the end, basically the people on Earth basically decide to cut their losses and just fuck off elsewhere because it's just too far gone. So that's pretty much that's pretty much the album concept, and also
well, you definitely hit the ground running, and I was reading a little bit that you kind of worked in studios across over in the US and back home in Auckland. What was that like doing that? How was that with that big process doing that? Who'd you work with, and what was that all like?
It was a pretty epic process. Like, I think it might have been 5 years or something like that in the making. This one, there was a lot of kind of hold-ups and setbacks, but we just spent a hell of a lot of time on everything, just because we thought, well, it's our first offering, and in a lot of ways everyone's going to just based on this. So we had this basically our mission kind of objective was just like no compromise at all.
Yep.
At any point. So, for example, after we did the Auckland studio session, there was just a couple of tracks that we wanted to do some different stuff on the drums. And handily enough, our drummer was just scheduled on a holiday to LA. So while he was over there, he just booked him some time in the studio there and redid a couple of them. So that's why we used a couple of different studios, and it came out real nicely. Like, we enlisted Clint Murphy to do the mixing and stuff. And he's done a lot of stuff, like he did like 8 Foot and Devil Skin and stuff like that. He's like an award-winning like producer guy, but he's also just an outstanding mixer. He just really can make your mixes kind of pop nicely.
Yeah, well, I'm really looking forward to hearing the finished product for sure, dude. I'm really liking what I've heard so far, and I'm seeing you guys playing Europe as well, dude, with Necronomicon, and that must be pretty cool, dude. So you're about to head off and go for a big run of shows across Europe, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's coming in fast now. It's only a week or so away, and we'll be. That's really exciting. It's perfect timing as well with the album release and that.
Yeah. Isn't the European scene great? It's probably the same there in New Zealand. That you probably don't get the recognition in your home country. Here in Australia, we have, same as New Zealand, you have these great metal bands, and you've got to kind of go over to Europe to get recognition. Totally. And everyone's still playing the old classic pub songs like from 20 years ago and not checking out the great bands like yourselves, back in New Zealand, Devil Skin, and there's just so many great metal bands coming out of these countries. It's insane.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, there's a really kind of strong underground scene both here and in Australia, and it's a shame that a lot of people don't realize it's there. And I think that's. I mean, some of it, I think, is an issue with venues and the way that things are set. Like, for instance, the fact that almost every show has cover charge and stuff, and people aren't necessarily going to pay money to see bands they don't know at all. That's
the best night I've had, though. I think, like, for me, dude. The best night I've had is I've gone to some shows and I've gone, like, for example, the new Dead Metal Fest. I went there knowing probably 2-3 bands, and this is quite a few years ago, and I went in there and it was the best day I had. Every band blew my mind, and I paid $60 for a ticket, and that was the best day I'd had, dude. And I wasn't even really drinking. It just blew my mind. So I think that's the thing. People got to reach into their pockets and support. Like, and I'm sure it's the same over there. Everyone's like, oh, support the produce or whatever's coming out of your home country, but not necessarily the music scene. I think, people got to learn to support what they love, the bands like yourselves, and not just hit like, subscribe on your phone. That's great and all that, but you've also got to reach into your pocket. Go support these bands, like $20 out of your pocket for a great night, great people, like, and you find that the scene is unreal, and I'm sure it's the same there. You go into a show, you guys are probably in there with the crowd afterwards. You're working the merch stand, so you can go up and say g'day. Exactly, and you aren't going to get that with some of these big US bands that are coming over, or wherever. They're not going to come and sit by the merch stand at the end of the day, and whereas if you spend the $20 for a door charge, so I see what you're saying, but it's also good if everyone gets out there and supports your local, and that's where it's at, the underground and the upswell for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, you certainly know from people that do turn up, they're just like, I think they're aware, like, oh shit, I got to see something really cool that a lot of other people don't know about. So there's definitely an upside to it.
Yeah, the underground scene is unreal, dude. So when can we expect The Void to be coming out, mate?
It's coming out March 27th. We've got another single coming out very soon, a couple of days, on the 13th.
Yep.
So yeah, and that's the last single, and then the whole thing's coming out March 27th. So and it'll be interesting to see how it goes down. I'm pretty happy with it, so hopefully other people like it as well.
Yeah, well, we used to be playing a bit of it on live over in Europe there anyway, so it'll be good to see the crowd reaction, I suppose, for you guys. I bet you're hanging to get over there and see some of those European crowds just really thrash out. That's for sure, dude. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, no, it's couldn't be more psyched for that. It's going to be real interesting. I've never played over there before, so we've just really toured around here. We haven't even made it over to Aussie yet, so we really need to.
Well, if you ever get over this way, dude, if you ever get over this way, I'm more than happy to show you boys around Adelaide. We've got some pretty mad thrash metal bands over here. Hidden Intent and Truth Corroded, like a couple of really great Adelaide bands that just rip it up.
Yeah, no, I saw Hidden Intent here with Lich King. They were supporting Lich King.
Yeah, Lich King are good.
Yeah, they were bloody awesome. I think I might have heard them before that, but I was just blown away when I saw them live. I was like, these guys are fucking awesome.
Yeah, Hidden Intent are really good, man. They get the crowd just ripping. I've seen them quite a few times, and I'm looking forward to seeing them again at Metal United Down Under here in Australia. Michael Luders puts it on, but they're playing Paul Perry leg. So I'm going to head over and snap it all out and have a good time. I'm looking forward to seeing them again. They're pretty cool. And I'm hoping you guys get over here, dude. I'm really looking forward to breaking The Void. Yeah.
We got it. Like, I've actually, it's been kind of interesting, actually, just from the few songs we've released on, the streaming services and that. It's actually like, I think Australia might be the strongest country, like for streams and that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was actually kind of surprising, like, because I've done a lot of marketing and stuff for over aimed at Europe because of the tour and that. So I was sort of expecting but actually, Australia was right up there with a couple of the European countries.
Yeah, well, we love our thrash over here, and I've got quite a few mates, dude. We totally have. I was looking at your Facebook page, and actually, I've got about half a dozen mates that already liked your page, and obviously, you guys already, dude, and they're pretty mad metalheads. So,
it's great to hear.
It's awesome, Sam. Thank you so much. Congratulations on The Void, and I'm looking forward to hearing that. Congratulations on the Necronomicon Europe tour. I'm going to put up all the dates and everything like that, so everyone can check out your music. Get the single, and maybe pre-order the Void there. So thank you very much, Sam from 3000 AD. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, dude.
Cool. Cheers, mate.